Have you ever heard of minute-long microseries? Picturing this, it's a full-length web series, but this entire series is shot for mobile exclusively in a vertical format. This is a new filmmaking format sweeping through Asia right now. Many projects that's filming at the biggest backlot in China is going vertical. People often joking and calling that backlot a vertical backlot. Is this the new era of filmmaking, or it's just some short-lived popularity? Today I'm going to take you along with me to dive into the world of vertical microseries, how it started and where it's going. Stick around till the end because I have a surprise announcement. If you're not interested in learning anything about microseries, just go ahead, use the timestamp, jump till the end to watch the announcement. Last year, a friend of mine asked me if I want to write a screenplay for a minute-long microseries. I was kind of confused because I didn't know what it was, and she sent me links to some of the samples. It's a kind of web series. Every episode runs about only 1 to 2 minutes, and the entire show contains around 50 to 100 episodes. But most importantly, this entire thing is shot and filmed vertically. Like many other filmmakers, at first I was a bit skeptical about it. But Bruce Lee once said,
"Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot." Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
As much as I love traditional cinema, I want to learn and be part of new things as well. So I dug in and started learning more about this vertical world. I often seen people crop out film clips and then posting on TikTok, Instagram, and the YouTube Shorts, things like that. But I never thought of that you could do the entire production vertically from the scratch. It's clear, vertical screen raises its own challenge in terms of filmmaking. It's almost like a new filmmaking language, which I'll dive into a little bit more later. Apparently, this has become a big new media industry in China, and all the mainstream studios are investing in this kind of vertical microseries. Now this market is heading into the US, and it has been very successful. If you want to learn more about it, I'm going to leave a link to a New York Times article in the description down below. So how did those microseries started? We can trace this back to when Snapchat announced the story feature in 2013, and that allowed people to start making video vertically. And then from there are a lot of people start cropping film clips and then putting on Snapchats. So many companies and influencers start filming story-based content vertically, but at that time, none of those content are mainstream content. Since 2018, with the help of social media, Chinese vertical microseries start growing rapidly, and it attracted a lot of mainstream production company to invest in it. But why those investors want to invest in this kind of microseries? Traditional film is costly to make, and it has a longer turnaround time. It takes years from prepping the script till release the film. To publicize traditional film, it also costs a lot of resource. And then the worst, the return of investment is very unpredictable. Yet, due to the vertical nature of microseries, it's much easier to make because it costs less resource. Because everything is shot vertically and the audience doesn't see as much of the horizontal space, you can totally make it with a smaller equipment package and then cut down the cost for production design, things like that. Also, web series tend to have a short turnaround time, and they also have a bigger demand from the market. All of these make it very clear this kind of vertical format web series is a very good investment. So why those microseries is so popular? This has a lot to do with the content itself. So far, most of the minute-long microseries are mainly romance and fantasy, and those are already stories with a huge fan base. And then the story, of course, is going to be fast-paced, and it's going to be very fun and satisfying to watch. It's not designed for you to sit down and watch it on the couch. It's designed to give people quick bites of entertainment instead of scrolling on social media. People can watch it while they're waiting for a bus or on the toilet, Although this kind of format has grown mature enough in China that a lot of production companies started to exploring different genre as well as raising their budget. After I worked on a couple of these kind of projects, my mind started opening up towards this new world. For me, what's so intriguing about this is the future. To actually hands-on making a film with vertical screen made me see a new branch of filmmaking. Remember earlier I was talking about it feels like a new kind of language. With the nature of a vertical screen, I find a lot of my filmmaking knowledge that I learned before are out of the window. A close-up shot or a wide shot are projecting completely different feelings for the audience from the traditional horizontal framing. And then there are certain type of way of framing or camera movement that doesn't work for the horizontal framing, but now it works for the vertical framing, vice versa. And then not just the camera, as a director, how you block actors will have different tricks, and it has its own advantage and a disadvantage. Most of filmmakers who are working on this kind of project are still exploring the possibility of vertical format. It's like reinventing filmmaking language again, and as filmmakers, we get to be part of this history. This is what excites me the most. Screenwriting-wise, due to the nature of mobile viewership, the structure, the pace will be completely different than the traditional filmmaking storytelling, and every single 1-minute episode needs to content with a lot of highlights and beats. And most of the screenwriters for vertical microseries are still exploring what works and what doesn't. I'm very interested in seeing how screenwriting for the vertical is developing in the future. Maybe in the future, the vertical screen will not only just small bites of soap opera, but something more. I think this kind of vertical screen is an opportunity for all the filmmakers to use their creativity to be part of language making, history making of the new era of filmmaking. Alright, it's time for the announcement. Today, I'm introducing the vertical microseries to you because the very first vertical microseries I directed just dropped today on the ReelShort streaming app. ReelShort is a streaming app that dedicated only to vertical microseries. I'll leave the trailer link in the description as well as at the ending screen somewhere later so you can check it out. I believe you can watch the first few episodes for free during the first 3 days of release, and then you can unlock the episodes by watching ads or using subscriptions to the streaming app. Before I directed this microseries, I watched a tons of vertical microseries in Chinese market to learn what works and what doesn't work, and trying to absorb as much as I could to apply to this production. As said, I'm still learning, exploring, and experimenting with my creativity, just like any other filmmakers who worked on this kind of show. Let me know after you checked it out, this kind of format. Are you excited about it, or you are a little bit terrified by it, and then why? And also, if you want, you can check out this vlog right here when I was burned out from writing one of the microseries. Be patient and be present, stay creative. I'll see you next week. Bye. Be you.